Welcome to the Hour of Empowerment. Today we are in the last season, which is season 4, and the topic is You're Called to Lead. This is season 4, and it is about leadership development, and topic 1 is You're Called to Lead. And we are in episode 1, which is talking about who is the leader and adopting leadership as a life pattern. But before we proceed, let's quickly summarize what we discussed under season 3. We had 3 topics under season 3. Topic 1, communicating effectively. Topic 2, building great teams. And topic 3, the power of values. Let's quickly summarize what we talked about communication. We said that even if you have great ideas, products, and services, if you don't have effective communication, you can't succeed, whether it is individually or organizationally. You need to have effective communication. We also said that you need to identify the barriers that keep you at bay, because it's very important first to identify the things that prevent you from becoming effective communicator, and then you work on your communication. We also emphasize that you need to have active listening. Mostly we think that communication is about me talking. No, it is also listening. Not just listening using your ears, but also listening using your heart. You have to engage in active listening. We also told you that you need to have cross-cultural communication skill, especially in the 21st century. People from diverse cultures come together to work together in person or virtually. Therefore, as a leader, you need to know how to cross cultures. You need to know how to avoid cultural clashes. We had a wonderful interview with Glenn Garnes, who is the CEO of Village Connector Media. The second topic was about team building. And we emphasize that you need to know that you can't individually make impact. If you like to bring change, impact your community, organization, and your society, you need to work with others and build teams. Of course, this requires you to believe in others, genuinely believe that you can't succeed alone. You have to work with others, and that requires you to understand the different phases of team formation. We also provided you the skills you need to know and develop about creating and leading your teams. It was also emphasized that we need to know who should succeed as. We need to have a succession plan. And mostly leaders come up with a succession plan when they are stranded. For example, when they are on their deathbed. That should not be the case in your case. You should come up with your succession plan, because you know that a leader without a successor is a failure. We had an awesome interview with Dr. Gabe Hamda, the CEO of ICAT Consulting. Topic 3 was about the power of values. And we emphasized that the difference between great and mediocre leaders is that great leaders have great values. We also mentioned that great companies that have unique shared values survive and even thrive in bad times, because they have unique shared values that they use to bring their people together, to align and also rally their stakeholders. We gave you some examples of successful companies who used shared values to succeed. And also we shared with you a case study. The difference between 2 countries, Ghana and South Korea. These countries were on the same footing in the 60s. What happened? South Korea, she changed her cultural values. They incorporated great cultural values into their culture. Values such as education, hard work, excellence, discipline, and so on and so forth. And because of that, they transformed their country into developed nation. Both of them were developing countries, but one transformed itself into developed nation. South Korea, she could be able to transform herself because of her change in her cultural values. Otherwise, both of them were on the same footing, producing the same products, the same services, and also having the same GDP, per capita income, and also getting the same amount of developmental aid. But South Korea transformed itself because of shift in her cultural values. You want to change your country? Do you want to change your organization and your life? Yes, you need to change your values. The values that have brought you so far, they could be able to bring you this far. They can take you to the next level. And there are also some values that sabotage your success and your progress. So you need to identify those values that are sabotaging the progress of your country, your organization, your life, and your community. And then substitute them with great values that can promote the change you aspire to bring in your country, in your organization, and in your life. We had a very powerful interview with Dr. Bob Krohn, who is the president of Kepler Space University. We discussed about the formation of values, how to align stakeholders alongside shared values, and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed season 3. Today we're going to begin a new season, which is leadership development, and we're going to have 3 topics. The first topic is called to lead, and we're going to have 4 episodes. The first episode is who is the leader, and adopting and embracing leadership as a life pattern. Episode 2 talks about fruits of leadership and barriers to lead. And episode 3, it covers equip to lead and also some cases of successful leaders. And we're going to have episode 4, which is interview. Before we proceed, I would like to share with you that I am so much passionate about this topic. For that matter, I wrote 2 books on the topic leadership. The first book was Redefining Leadership, which was published in 2011. And the second book is The 9 Cardinal Building Blocks for Continued Success in Leadership, which was published this year. So I'm going to share with you important contents from these 2 books. If you are interested to become a successful leader, you need to read these books. You want your children, your friends, your brother or your sister to become a leader, you need to give them a gift of a book that could help them become great leaders. Now, the first question we should ask is, who is the leader? Who is the leader? I know that you may be trying to find someone who is, tall, charismatic, orator as a leader. No. You too are a leader. You are a leader. And leadership is your birthright. And you are born to lead. Remember, you are wired, you are designed to lead. And the moment you join this world, you are entitled to lead. Of course, I'm not saying that you are born to leadership. I'm not talking about position here. I'm talking about your birthright, the potential you have in becoming a leader, at least for your life, for your passion, for your destiny. So from now onward, don't point your finger to somebody else. You too are a leader. You are wired to lead. Everybody, including yourself, has a potential to become a great leader. This is up to you whether you believe in yourself that you are a leader. If you haven't started this journey, this is time. And that's why we arranged this program, to inspire you in becoming a leader. First, for yourself, your family, your organization, and your country They need your leadership. They need your skills. They need your passions. They need your talents. So wherever you are called to lead. You are called to take initiatives of leadership. There are dozens of problems and challenges around you, in your community, in your organization, in your family, and they are waiting for you to claim your leadership birthright and start initiative and start to solve these problems and tackle these challenges. There are also opportunities. This is the 21st century. There are many opportunities and they are waiting for you to claim these opportunities. Use your talents and also your skills to tap into these opportunities, and you can't do that without you becoming a leader. You are designed to lead. You meant to lead first yourself and then your passion and the people who share your passion. But leadership begins with you. Unless you become a leader, at least for your life and job description, believe me, you perform poor. You're going to be miserable. You're going to get stranded. You can't perform well because you need to release your potential by becoming a leader. That could be able to help you achieve great things, perform well. Otherwise, it is impossible for you to achieve great things before taking an initiative of leadership. You are a seed for your family, for your organization, for your community, and for your country and the world at large. Believe that you are a seed. And what happens? One seed can become a forest. Your journey from seed to forest just began. If you never started that journey of becoming a forest, this journey began today when you claim your leadership birthright. And when you determine that, you're going to take leadership initiatives within your family, within your community. Don't look aside and forward or backward, trying to find someone to fix your country's problem, your society's problem, your community's problem, your country's and your organization's problem. You are the one called to take a leadership initiative and fix those problems. Problems that need your talent. Problems that require your passion. I'm not saying that you go out and solve every problem. You can't do that. But you can solve those problems. You can tackle those challenges for which you have the calling, for which you have the passion, for which you are designed, for which you are wired, for which you have the burden. For that matter, for me, smart communities, organizations, and nations, they are smart when they acknowledge that each citizen in their organization, in their country, in their community is a leader. These smart communities, organizations, and nations, they put in place laws, educational systems, and incentives to empower each citizen, because they believe that each and every individual in their community, in their organization, in their country is meant to be leaders. They help them to excel in the area of their passion. So the call for you, if you are an existing leader of your community, your organization, and your country, the call for you is, please release your people. Believe that each and every one of them is a potential leader that can help you transform your country, transform your organization, and transform your community. A family, community, company, and nation that misses this truth are gonna suffer. That's why we have great nations, because they understand the importance of believing in the uniqueness of the individual. Countries and communities that undermine the uniqueness of the individual, they suffer. They always get stranded. You can't solve your multitudes of problems and challenges with one leader or with a few leaders. That really is a poor mentality. It doesn't help you. So you have to believe that you need more people. If you don't believe in that, that means you are wasting the potential of your people. You are egotistical. You are a dictator. So you need to change your mindset. You are a leader. Well, embrace that. You need to raise many leaders from your organization, from your community, from your family. Don't take the leadership position and believe that others just should follow you. And if you believe in that, this is a sure way of causing your organization, your community, and your family to get stranded, to become mediocre. Now the next question is, what is leadership? I can tell you that there are hundreds of leadership definitions. Most of these definitions are like this. Leadership is the ability or skill or capacity to lead or guide or inspire or influence others. As you can see, these kind of definitions are full of affirmative words. And it's about the most important tasks of leadership. They don't talk about why somebody has to become a leader. They talk about the most important tasks of leadership, and the definitions look like they are defining leadership in perspective of doing something for others or against others. But there are many people who may not be inspired by these kind of definitions. One of the reasons is cultural reasons. Some people, they don't want to influence others. They don't want to inspire others. These kind of personalities are not encouraged in that kind of cultures. Of course, I'm not saying that these definitions are wrong or irrelevant. They're great, but they don't click to everybody. And of course, many people, they don't want their initiative to do something too for or against others. They want to know a huge reason that causes them to become leaders. Of course, these definitions, they explain about the most important tasks of leadership without answering the most important question. Why should somebody take a leadership initiative in the first place? Why do you want yourself to go to in the trouble to take leadership, go out and face challenges? Why? There should be a very strong reason than just inspiring others, just motivating others, just guiding others. If you have that kind of huge, big, strong reason, if you begin your leadership, there is no way that you quit. When the getting going tough, you won't quit. What do? You keep on moving because you have a very strong reason why you became a leader. So you need to find that reason more than leading, guiding, inspiring, and influencing others. Of course, leadership is also perceived wrongly that many people, they don't want to do something with leadership. They don't want leadership. They don't want to become a leader. They don't trust leaders. Why? Because leadership is perceived as a career, and also people think that leaders should be orators, charismatic, courageous, and confident. Whether you are, however, introvert, shy, it doesn't matter. You can become a leader wherever you feel comfortable. Leadership is also portrayed in a negative light because many people perceive that leadership is a tool used by a few to dictate, exploit, manipulate, and abuse others. Because of these bad reputations, because of a few leaders, many people, they vote themselves out from ever leading, and they don't trust leaders, let alone to become leaders. So we need to clarify that the true meaning of leadership is not all about you dictating others, manipulating others, using others. It's not about even others. First, it's about you, knowing who you are and pursuing your passion and get fulfilled. Of course, in the process, you influence others, you serve others, and you inspire others. But your first motivation in becoming a leader is not about others. It's about you, your fulfillment, your destiny. The next question is, whether leaders are born or made. Of course, this question has been there for thousands of years. Experts, they talked about it. But the issue is, they are talking about the few existing leaders, whether they are born or made. Of course, in this generation, the majority of the leadership experts, they believe that leaders are made. Here I have a little bit different idea. First of all, I believe that the discussion should be about not the existing few leaders, whether they are born or made. It should have been about all humanity, whether each and every individual that joins this universe is born to lead or not. And I believe that each and every individual that joins this universe, that breathes and walks on this planet, is born to lead. Of course, they can become leaders and effective as they work with others. They need to develop themselves. That's why, even if they are born to lead, they should make themselves leaders. They need to work on their leadership to become effective and successful leaders. So you're born to lead, and this is up to you whether you want to develop your leadership and become a great leader. I have a call to the existing leaders. Please release your people to take leadership initiatives. Don't waste their potential and deny your community and your organization and your country from the talent, passion, the unlimited potential of your people. The goal of this program, therefore, is to inspire individuals like you. If you have never thought about you being as a leader, this program is designed to help you claim your leadership birthright. You are a leader. If you are an existing leader, well, this program is arranged to inspire you, to encourage you to raise other leaders in your organization. Of course, we're going to provide you insights, steps, and many information to help you become great leaders. So be with us. And the first step of that journey with us is the definition of leadership. For the sake of this program, leadership is knowing oneself, the reason of existence, and pursuing it until fulfilled. So this definition could be claimed by anybody. You could be in any culture. The definition is not about affirmative words like inspiring others, guiding others. It is about first knowing who you are. Nobody knows about you more than you do. So you need to know who you are and why you are here. And pursue that passion, that reason that causes you to come and join this universe and get fulfilled in life. Of course, while you are pursuing your passion toward this fulfillment, of course, you need to inspire others. You need to serve others. And also contribute your share for the collective fulfillment of your family, your community, your organization, your country, and the whole humanity. So leadership is not about others. It's not also about you forming organizations and leading organizations. Of course, when you become a leader, obviously, you need to form organizations. You need to have people around you. But they are not the very reason you become a leader. But you need people, you need teams, you need organizations. But you don't take initiative of leadership just to lead organization, just to lead people, just to inspire people. Find that reason that causes you to go out from your comfort zone and become a leader. And there is no other reason stronger than knowing who you are and pursuing your passion in this world that put pressure on you to become a leader. I believe that starting from today, you're going to begin that journey. Even if it is a protracted journey, a twisted journey, even if there are lots of challenges, believe me, there are also fruits. There are advantages in becoming a leader. So discover who you are, your assignment in life, and pursue it. And in the process, serve your community, your family, and your country and humanity. Now, what's next? Okay, we know that leadership is not about others. We know that it's not about forming organizations. It's not about your title. It's not about authority. It's not about manipulating people. We know that leadership is about you knowing who you are and pursuing the reason of your existence until you fulfilled. And we know that leaders are born and also made, because you are born to lead. You have the potential. You have the birthright to become a leader, but you need to work on yourself. You need to make yourself a leader by working on yourself. Then the next question is, what should I do now? Of course, it's a very important question, because right now where you are, you may not have the resource it takes to become a leader. You may not have people around you to lead. You may not have even the education. It's okay. Wherever you are, begin there by leading yourself. Let me give you a good example. Now, you've never been in a leadership position, and you don't even believe that you're a leader. But today, you are convinced. I hope I convinced you. I will share my story, and I was no one before I took that decision. You could be no one up to now, but at least you become the leader of your life starting from today. So you don't have resources, you don't have people around you, you don't have education, it doesn't matter. Start where you are, which means sit down, know who you are, your passion, your strength, your weaknesses, and then plan, set goals, develop your character, develop your skills. When you do that, these are activities of leadership. So you have become a leader to lead yourself. Once people see that you are effective in leading yourself, well, they are inspired to follow you. And then you become an authentic leader who first led himself, and then others are willing to follow you, because they could be able to see that you first influenced yourself, you first led yourself, so they trust you. Even if you don't have the resources, the education, the skill sets and support, you could become a leader and adopt leadership as a life pattern. Here is the issue. Many people, they think that leadership is about people who are in a social science field, people who can speak well, people who are heroic, people who are bold enough to speak. That's wrong. You can be anywhere and can become a leader. You may be an introvert, you could be a shy person, you don't like standing on a pulpit, it doesn't matter. You can lead wherever you are. Leadership is not about talking. Leadership is not about taking positions or commanding people. It is not, especially in the 21st century. The generation has changed. If you want to be a leader without a title. Be a leader without commanding people. Inspire them to share your passion and work with you with their willingness. And also share responsibilities. And also believe in them that there are too leaders like you, and work together for your common destiny. You may be not born with articulation of your speech, or you may not have any leadership quality when you were born. You may not have any title or authority. It doesn't matter. First, embrace leadership as a life pattern wherever you are. You could be a student, you could be an employee, you could be a security guard, you could be a CEO, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, take leadership and become a leader for your job description. By doing that, you are serving your organization, your community, and your country. Now, always when I share to you, I always make sure that I have first practiced what I talk to you. I want to be authentic, which means I want to teach you, inspire you, first by implementing it on myself. So my leadership journey began in the early 90s. Now I can talk, you can see in the camera, and I can talk in any stage. I don't mind. But if you saw me when I spoke the first time, when I took a leadership initiative in the early 90s, I don't remember the year, the date, and the time, but I remember the occasion. I stood in front of my peers. Most of them were in their late teens and early 20s. I stood there and I inspired them to form a youth association. How many minutes do you think it took me? 5 minutes. But I thought it was like forever. I was sweating. I was shaking. I wanted to run away from my friends because I was scared. That was the first time I took initiative. Remember, I grown up in a community where you are allowed to communicate with people even older than you. So I was not shy. But formally, that was my first time to talk to people as a leader. So within that 5 minutes, I couldn't even be able to finish my ideas. What happened? I was tempted, as I said, to run away. But somehow, I concluded the discussion very formally and concluded and closed the discussion, and I told them that I'm going to talk to them individually. What do you think happened the second time? I talked to them individually. When I appeared in front of them for the second time, it was different. I was not sweating. I was not shaking. I was comfortable. It took maybe an hour or so to discuss about forming a youth association. So as a young man at that time, that was a big and great success for me. But the success was not that initiative. The success was I was changed forever. From that day onward, I took initiatives wherever I found myself, whether I was in campus, whether I was in my community, whether I was in corporations. I took initiatives, leadership initiatives. So I'm encouraging you, wherever you are, whether you are scared right now or not, whether you feel like you are not adequate, it doesn't matter, my friend. You won't regret taking that step in becoming a leader for your life first. So I continued to lead. I was the youth leader. I took the initiative, and then I was the leader of that youth association, and I became a student leader in the late 90s. And I was the president of Addis Ababa University Students Union. Now the responsibility increased, but the lessons, my experience as a youth leader helped me when I became a student leader. I continued to become a political leader, a business leader, and so on and so forth. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter whether you have the education, the experience, the resources, the people, it doesn't matter. Start it somewhere. Your country, your organization, your family, they are looking for you. There is a talent in you, there is a skill in you, there is a passion in you, there is a burden in you. No one could be able to do it the way you do it. So the problem that has been waiting you to solve it is there. Your country is suffering because of that particular problem. You were born to solve that problem, so why are you there? What are you waiting? Now I know some of you may say, hey, Assegid, I'm just old, I can't lead. Well, I have a bad news. Think about Billy Graham. He was leading in his 90s. Are you older than him? What about Nelson Mandela? He was leading in his 90s. So are you older than these great leaders? So you don't have any excuse. Oh, you may say, oh, I am disabled. Oh, I'm sick. I can't lead. Well, I have again a bad news. Think about scientist Stephen Hawking. I may not agree with his theory, but I admire his leadership in the area of his passion. Even if he is wheelchair bound, he still leads. Oh, you say, okay, I'm not old, I'm not disabled, but I am too young, I can't lead. Well, there is no excuse again. Think about Mother Teresa. She was a teenager when she went to India to help the destitutes. What about Mark Zuckerberg? I believe that you have a Facebook account. So Mark began this multi-billion-dollar company when he was a teenager. So what is your excuse? What about Michael Dell? He established Michael Dell Computer Corporation when he was a teenager. What I'm saying is that whether you are old or young, whether you are sick, disabled or not, you can become a leader. Your country, your community, your family, they are waiting for you to release your potential, to bring out your best, your talent, your passion, and your skills. And you are a leader to lead your individual destiny. Through pursuing your destiny, you could also be able to contribute your share, your individual share. You can't do everything, but you can be able to contribute your share in alleviating the problem of your community, your country, and your organization. In conclusion, we talked about how you're born to lead and how you need to release your potential by taking leadership initiatives. I shared my own story, how it was scary, how I was shaking, how I was sweating for being there for 5 minutes in front of my peers, my colleagues. It is tough, but it worth it. Wherever you are, take leadership initiatives. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter. You may be the only follower of yourself. It doesn't matter, but start it somewhere. Strategize, plan, set goal, study, learn. Go out and serve your community, your family, in your country by pursuing your passion. And I believe that you learn through the process and you will be able to find people who share your passion and you become great, a great leader. You don't need to be an orator. You don't need to be a charismatic leader, but you can start from bottom or in the middle of your organization and your community, and you become a great leader and serve your community and your organization. Of course, in the coming 3 episodes, I'm going to help you to understand, for example, the different types of leadership styles. How can you develop your leadership skills and become a great leader? And also, we're going to talk about what kind of fruits, what kind of benefits you may enjoy as you become a leader. And also, what are the challenges, the obstacles you may face as you take a leadership initiative. Until I see you next time, have a wonderful time. Thank you very much for watching.